What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, my sister Darla.
What's up?
And this week, we're going to be talking about Batman Forever, continuing our journey through the Batman movies. I say that, but like we space our journeys out like really far, right?
We do.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should be doing it like weekly. Maybe we should have been doing these weekly. So like I saw something online and they had like Bat-May.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, that'd have been cool
But it's
to
not
do.
May.
Well, you know what I mean.
I mean, yeah, I got you.
Like it'd have been like October is Batman month. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Yeah, but you can't make a funny pun with October. No, Battober, actually.
See?
Okay, never mind.
There's plenty of more Batman properties. We could definitely go all in on Batman next month.
We'll think about it.
You know I am always down for a Batman. Well, not always after watching this.
Well, I mean, you know what movie's after this, so...
We're skipping it.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not. Anyhow, let's talk about... I almost said Batman and Robin. No, Batman Forever. Oh my god, my son did ask. He was like, can we watch Batman and Robin after I finish this movie? No. And I was like, later. My brain needs a break after watching Batman Forever. Because, man. Now, I fondly remember this movie as a child. It's been a while since I've watched it. I used to watch it all the time, you know.
Yeah.
I knew it was campy. I knew it was bad going into watching it. But I feel like, and I've said a similar thing when we watched our Jason Bourne movie, which hasn't been posted yet. So this is going to sound weird to the audience. Sorry. But I feel like this is like the first time I really paid attention to the story while watching it, or lack thereof.
Yeah, I think there's two things to that. We're older now.
Yeah.
So like when you're a kid, you're watching things for purely the entertainment value. If someone's getting punched in the face, if something's blowing up, I like this movie.
Excellent.
Great movie. And as you get older, the story matters more. And then I think when we're doing this podcast, I pay it more attention. Like I'm focusing on things now.
Yeah.
That I probably wouldn't have focused on if I was just sitting down watching the movie. And I feel like, as you said, as a kid, I love this movie. Watched it all the time. It's not good.
No, it's not. Yeah, I feel like I am becoming more detailed and oriented with movies. Maybe we should sign up to be critics. Maybe we'll get like free movie tickets or something.
I'm down with that.
You know,
because I'm tired of wasting my money on movies.
But let's talk about the quote unquote story and what it was. Gosh, I don't.
Two-Face wants to kill Batman for reasons.
Yes, he hates Batman. That is not explained.
Nope.
One, why was Batman in that courtroom? I'm so confused. Well, Batman tried to save him. I'm like, why was Batman in the courtroom?
Okay. So, I also had that as a nitpick. Like, so Batman's just chilling in court with his whole full bat suit on in the courtroom. And then was he there, like, to testify? Was he there because he knew Maroni was going to try something? And if that was the case, why weren't you quicker?
Yeah, maybe that's why Two-Face wants to kill him. So, yeah, they showed the scene where Harvey Dent is a lawyer in this, and he gets acid thrown at him. First of all, how does Maroni sneak acid into a courtroom?
If y'all ever been to court, you ain't getting nothing in there, let alone a cup of acid. Like
just in a glass. He's just got a glass of acid.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, hold on. See, now I'm doing some thinking because I also watched The Batman this week.
Oh, with the movie?
I was in a Batman movie, and I was like, I haven't seen this since it came out.
Okay, on my second watching, I was like, I enjoyed it the first time, but I thought it was boring the second time.
You know what? That movie does a lot of things right.
Yeah,
but it is still boring. Yes. And like I don't get it. Like Penguin, fantastic. Catwoman is great. Maroni and Falcone, great.
It's so awesome. Yeah.
Just the riddles were cool. The Riddler was great, but somehow they took all of that and made a boring movie.
It's too long.
It is too long.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's too long. All right. So how could he have gotten acid into the courtroom?
I honestly forgot what my point was.
Oh.
The cops are crooked in Gotham. That is not explored in this movie.
Yeah.
But it is known that the cops are crooked. So the cops could have already had it in there for him and handed to him when he was on the stand.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? That actually makes sense. This movie doesn't make it seem that way.
Yes.
You know, the police are also good guys. With a lot of times with Batman, they're not.
There's only a handful, like what Gordon, what's the name of that?
Bullock, yeah.
Montoya. Renee Montoya?
Yeah.
Those the only three? Harvey Dent before he became Two-Face.
Yeah,
because he was the DA.
I'm pretty sure there are more, but I don't
but those are the three I know, and then the gazillion evil ones.
Right, they're all on somebody's payroll.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that's how logically that could be done.
Okay.
So I agree, it's dumb, although it is comic accurate. Like legit, I saw a comic panel.
What, with the paper and the acid?
No, not the paper. That was weird. But like with Batman jumping out full blown bat suit in Maroni's on the stand. And I was just like, you know what? I guess credit for pulling it straight from the comics. I always say I like that, but you could have updated that storyline.
Why was he in the courtroom?
It doesn't make any sense.
He didn't need to be there. Just have the acid thrown on Harvey Dent, and now he's Two-Face.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he wants to kill Batman. Never explained.
Nope.
Just wants to kill Batman. Maybe because Batman keeps stopping him from doing crimes.
Well, I would like to know more about these crimes he be committing.
Yeah, he wants to do a crime, and then Batman doesn't let him. So,
yeah.
And then,
the Riddler.
Yeah, I keep trying to think of a story, but there's no order. Like, I don't know how to put this. It's not put together well.
Things just happen.
Yes.
In this movie.
Yeah.
And so the Riddler is basically, he starts off being obsessed with Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne turns down his invention. And that comes for where now...
Just has too many questions.
Too many questions.
I have to say, before we get on to Jim Carrey makes this movie. He does.
It's a lot, though.
All the lines that I remember are Jim Carrey's lines.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, I'm not a fan of loud comedy.
Yeah, still.
It's a lot.
But okay, continue. He's obsessed with Bruce Wayne.
Right. Bruce Wayne turns him down. So now it's like making his goal to basically prove Bruce Wayne wrong and embarrass him. And now I'm the smartest, richest man. Blah, 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 blah.
And so that's how everything happens. We throw Robin's story in here for some reason. So his parents die, and then Bruce Wayne adopts a 30-year-old man.
Full-grown man.
Because he is he's not a child. I'm like, he's an adult.
This full-grown man.
And so we get a Robin in here too.
And you forgot about the psychiatrist.
Oh, right. Yeah, Chase Meridian. She's introduced for some reason because Batman always needs a love interest.
But he don't, though.
He don't. And this one really made no sense. She just hot in the pants for Batman, I guess. I guess I get it, but lady, sorta?
Be a professional.
No. There was a problem, and I'm going to destroy nitpicks. I don't care. She's like out with Bruce Wayne on the first date. On the first date with Bruce Wayne. Not even like dating. He just invited her out, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then she's like, I've met someone. After Batman clearly rejected her in the first place. And she's like, I've met someone, so I can't continue to go out with you. Yeah. And I'm like, is this supposed to be... Who wrote this? Horrible.
You know what? That's a good point. Because, like, why did you wait till this man spent money on you, right? Got all dressed up, right? And he take you to the fancy place. You probably went to a really good restaurant beforehand. And then it was like, oh, by the way, I don't want to date you.
But then her reason was because she met someone, but that person that she quote unquote met rejected her.
True.
Also, we're getting way thrown off, but it doesn't matter. She calls him with the bat signal, right? First of all, How she get access to the bat signal?
Okay, that was so in my. See, I'm going to start highlighting when you just hit up my nitpicks.
I'm sorry, I told you I was going to destroy nitpicks because we might as well not even have a nitpick section because it's going to be this entire movie.
Okay, go ahead.
This whole entire movie is a pick. All right. Yeah, how she get access to the bat signal?
Exactly. Like, did she just stroll up there in her nightgown?
Yeah, and then she's in like I'm like, you in some lingerie on the police headquarters roof. First of all, how do you get like you walked in the police headquarters with your lingerie on, or you put a jacket on and then took it off when you turned on?
My thing is the fact that you could just stroll all the way up to the roof, and then start pressing buttons to turn the bat signal on.
And then, like, she's like throwing herself at Batman, which gosh. I'm like, all right, slow your roll.
Throwing, she was filling the man up.
I know. I was like, hey, man, one more touch. This is gonna be some sexual harassment here. I don't know. Like, I'm like, I don't care if it's a rubber suit. I feel awkward now. So yeah, that scene. Which again, like as a child, I cared not about it. I didn't even know what was going on.
Didn't even pay attention to it. Yeah. It was just didn't even matter. It was just get to the next shoot 'em up scene.
Yeah.
But now I'm watching this. I'm like, get a hold of yourself.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing?
Right. But he turns her down.
Yeah. Clearly.
She sees Bruce again after she's like, no, Bruce, I'm with another man. Sees him again.
Well, no. So the rooftop scene happens before the circus.
Right. She sees Bruce. She turns him down. Then doesn't she see?
No, Bruce. She sees Bruce and turns him down after the rooftop scene.
That's
so
what I'm
her saying like I've met someone is after Batman told her no.
Yeah, I know. But so then after that, she sees Batman again, right? Because at some point, Bruce comes back to her house, and then they start making out, and then Alfred was like, Robin stole the Batmobile.
Oh, no. That was like midway in the movie. So that's when the Riddler's little party thing got yeah, it is, because so the Riddler had his little party thing and Two-Face came in and ruined it. And then in the middle of the fight, she stops and kisses Batman and says,
"Meet me at midnight."
Yeah.
So that's after Bruce is in her house.
Yeah.
They make out. He has to leave because he got to go save Robin, right?
Yeah.
Then that night, she gets back at Batman and say, "Meet me at midnight," because I guess no does not mean no.
No doesn't mean no. Yeah. First you kiss me
but
without me asking.
But my thing is make up your mind. You told Bruce, I ain't feeling you. Then he comes over. Okay, I'm feeling you. And
well, Bruce came over as a client.
He came over. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Sure. Which I don't know what kind of therapist she is.
The one that's going to lose her license for hitting on her patients.
Also, why is your patient just walking around your place looking through your stuff and whatnot?
She doesn't have a job anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, make up your mind. Right? Then she's like, meet me at midnight. He shows up at midnight. She ain't wearing no clothes because that's,
hey,
normal.
She likes to sleep without clothes. Some people do.
Some people do. But I think she's just a freak.
Yeah.
And then, she's like, oh, no.
And then she tells Batman she's met someone.
Yeah. So ridiculous.
Super ridiculous, yeah.
Just... she had no point just to give me a headache.
Yeah, that whole story beat was ridiculous and uninteresting. Mm-hmm. I just we didn't need the love story. Which didn't make any sense because by the time I forgot what scene it was, and I'm like, they had no chemistry between. It was when they're in Bruce Wayne's house.
Oh yeah, when she's like, tell me, Bruce, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
First of all, I had a problem with that scene because she said, tell me, Bruce, and then she kissed him. And I'm like, well, he can't tell you now. You asked him to tell you.
Hey, look, she waited like a whole week for this man to make his move. Ain't got time to be waiting on him.
Well, first of all, I felt at that scene, I was like, there's been no setup to this. It was just all of a sudden, she's in love with Batman and Bruce Wayne for reasons, I guess.
You know what I was thinking? It's just like, there was no setup to it for he's like, I'm going to stop being Batman for her. Like, why?
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense. She's been stringing you along for days now. Can't decide if she wants Bruce or Batman.
I mean,
And you're gonna give it all up for her.
I'll be honest, like the Vicky Vale relationship was much more fleshed out.
Well, that made more sense.
Yeah.
Just, and I'm, movies got to speed things up, but at least Vicky Vale made more sense. This didn't make any sense.
Yeah, we can't even use the excuse because we know, like, sometimes we're like, oh, well, you gotta quickly, you only got 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. No, I've seen, in watching movies and TV shows, I've seen in TV shows, they introduce a character, and by the end of the episode, where, like, something bad is happening to that character, I'm invested. Mm-hmm. That's good storytelling. If you had 2 hours and you couldn't build this relationship for it to mean anything, we'll go back to The Batman. Like, the relationship between Bruce Wayne and Catwoman, I thought that was real, even though Batman was a real stalker with that.
Yeah,
but
he was.
He was stalking in this one too. Batman needs to see a therapist. But this relationship wasn't built up.
No, and you mentioned I was gonna bring up Batman Returns with him and Catwoman.
Yeah,
that felt like a natural progression, where it's just at the end they both realize like who each other are, but it's like, we can't be together.
Yeah,
and here is just she's just throwing herself at these men, and he keeps turning her down like, I don't want it, but then you're going to give it all up for her. It just doesn't make any sense.
It didn't. So that was dumb. Okay, so then the Riddler, who we kind of jumped from his story. Sorry. We had him making his machine, and yeah. Okay. And he teams up with Two-Face.
Right, because he needs Two-Face so he can get some money, so he can mass produce the box, which is shaped like a
blender. Yeah, that's what my wife said. She said blender. It looked like a blender.
Yeah.
I don't know, when I was a kid, I always thought it was like popcorn in the top part.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm sure whoever worked on the design worked very, very hard, but I didn't like it.
Oh, this movie looks dumb. I'm sorry for the production design. I'm sorry. I know you guys are talented. You work hard on your movies, but this movie looks stupid.
The visuals are awful. Okay, here's what I don't understand. In 1992, we can make dinosaurs look real, but we cannot make buildings look real in 1995?
No, man, we were using that CGI. That newfangled CGI stuff.
Sense.
We could have just used the city. In our new Batman movies, they use a city. Like Chicago was the kind of the base for the Nolan series, yes. Right?
Yeah.
For Gotham. Here it's like, oh, Gotham's not a real place. I guess we'll make the city CGI, and the Statue of Liberty is there for some reason.
Yeah, it's like the stuff that they did make, which is so like with all of the weird statues and just like that's just weird. I don't know a single city that has giant men standing in the middle of it.
Yeah,
I don't get it. And then like the background visuals is just, I mean, it looks like something I colored in.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. And even some things like when they're at the circus and they're at that like the Coliseum or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They said they based that off of a real place. And I'm like, well, why did we go to that place?
Well, there are no drones, so they couldn't take a drone shot of the
Helicopters existed. Okay, there were now we have a drone and someone flies around and get the stuff we need.
Yeah.
But there were helicopters. I don't know. A man on a scooter hanging. I don't know. But
they could have gone on location, but that would have costed more, I guess.
Y'all needed to spend that money.
And then I needed to talk about the neon. I'm sorry, this entire movie's got neon lights everywhere, and it's I can't.
The thing is, it's like that was a choice. Like this is what they wanted Gotham to look like, and I'm just like.
Like, I'm sorry, if I'm Robin, I'm not afraid going up against the neon gang. Like, they sitting up here got, like, neon batons or something like that, or what?
They put so much effort into, and I think they wanted it to look like the 1920s and the 30s when I guess color signs were first coming out. Like, if you think, like, Times Square back then, and, like, Tokyo got a lot of neon signs or whatever. Look, it looks good there, but it did not look good here.
It didn't.
I mean, but everything was neon. The people guns had neon on it.
They did. Oh my gosh.
Paint, like okay, if you wanted the buildings to be neon, why was everyone wearing neon? Just I don't understand. Like it's like okay, the buildings are this, but why does everything else also have to be this?
Got it. No, it didn't make sense. Um, so production design. I'm sorry, bad. That Batmobile,
Nope, not it.
horrible. Like as a kid, I thought it was cool, but no, it doesn't. It looks horrible. I don't. The original Batmobile looks way better.
Definitely.
This and then the wings on a Batmobile was flappy, and that bothers me. I know it's not important, but it bothers me with the flappy wings on the back. Come on.
I have no thoughts on that.
Okay. There were some leaps in logic here. One, like you said, things just happen in this story. So Two-Face just shows up places for some reason. Like there doesn't seem to be a reason why Two-Face is going after different areas, you know? Like he robbed the bank to lure out Batman so he could kill Batman.
Yes.
In a stupid way.
And the dumbest way.
It's going to boil him in acid in a vault.
Yep.
Also, there's some real physics problem with that.
It's on my list. It's on the list.
Oh, I forgot to mention. This movie lets you know what it's going to be on the first line.
Yeah.
Because you got Batman suiting up, and then Alfred's, "Can I convince you to take a sandwich with you?" And then Batman says, "I'll get drive-through."
So pointless. Like that's the minute where I stopped and grabbed a pencil and paper. It's just like it's gonna be one of those movies where I'm just gonna be just writing the entire time. And yeah, it's like, but like you said, that moment I was just like, oh man, this is not gonna be how I remembered it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yep. I knew it was a bad movie. I knew. I'm not surprised by this. I knew it was a bad movie, but I
thought I would, like you said, I know it was bad. I know it didn't make any sense. I thought that I would still enjoy it though.
I mean, the parts that I enjoyed as a kid, I still enjoyed.
I can't say that I did.
No? Okay.
No, I can't say that I did.
The Riddler's too much, yes.
The Riddler's too much. Two-Face is just extra because Tommy Lee Jones is trying to outdo Jim Carrey in this.
I feel like they told Tommy Lee Jones to be campy, and he really can't, so he's just trying his best to be campy.
But it's not who Two-Face is. Yeah. Which then it gets me because Joel Schumacher says, I was a Batman fan growing up. I read the comics. Unlike Tim Burton, who was like, I ain't know nothing about
Well, no, Batman. Wait. Was he like the 60s Batman fan?
I thought he was a fan of the comics.
Oh, because I mean, like, the 60s Batman is camp.
But it is, but it's not this.
No, it's not. This is
ridiculous.
And
then the villains take themselves serious. You know what I mean? There's a difference between being campy and being dumb. Yeah. And this is it was just dumb.
Very stupid from the beginning. I mean, Edward Nygma's motivation, he's mad at Bruce Wayne because did he even tell him to shut it down? He just said...
Initially, he told him, we'll talk about it, set up an appointment. Yeah. Nygma was like, I need an answer now. He's like, well, then the answer is no. Yeah. That's when he brought up, it raises too many questions.
Yeah. And the reason was, and he didn't initially say no. He's like, we've got to talk about this. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like, that's ridiculous as a motivation to be a super villain, but okay. Yeah. And his plan was to get the knowledge from everyone.
Yeah, because that would make him smarter. Then he can one up. Because remember, he threw that whole party. Like, I guess his mass release party. Yeah. His haircuts like Bruce. He even added a fake mole like Bruce has. Yeah. He wore the same suit because, remember, he was with Sugar. Yeah. She said, how come you don't look as good in that suit? Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like he wanted to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah. So he wants to. Yeah, I guess that's what he wants to be. Yeah. And then I guess they explained with Dr. Meridian that his disorder, his obsession, would only end with killing Bruce.
I feel like we should have been more concerned about that. Yeah. That you have a stalker who's going to eventually try to kill you, and no one does anything about that. Yeah.
Yeah, like at least I get Batman not going to the police because he's Batman, you know. But wouldn't Dr. Meridian go like, we need to go to the
We need
police
to go
with
to the
this?
police.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try a little bit harder to find out who this guy is.
Yeah.
You know, just a thought.
Yeah. The riddles are horrible.
I'm just these aren't even I didn't even have to think.
No. Also, one threw me off because one of the answers was a clock, and then they were all like, "Oh, these are all small man-made things," and I was like, "A clock is not necessarily small."
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. It's as big as you want it to be.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean? And then it had nothing to do with the answer.
And
to
then
the
I
riddle.
felt like the leap in logic because they're just like maybe they're letters. Okay, fine. Numbers equal letters. I give you that. You're like, but what if 1 and 8 were together? Well, why? You could have combined any of the other numbers.
I was thinking that. So Bruce Wayne, out of the blue, combines the two middle numbers, going like maybe 1 and 8 is together, and then it's like, what made you think that?
Yeah.
At least the riddles in the Batman
they were
made
clever.
sense.
Yeah.
You know
how they saw them was clever, even when they were first doing the cipher. Because I literally just watched this movie, and he's like, "Well, what if there aren't no missing letters?"
Yeah.
So you take all of the letters off of there, and then that's how he figured out the thumb drive clue.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that made sense.
Yeah.
It was, are we overthinking this? What if it's something else? And I thought thumb drive was kind of cute. Yeah. I mean, it was gruesome, but it was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was clever.
So, yeah, these were not clever. They put very little thought into them.
Well, they used the guy who makes the crossword puzzles for the New York Times. And I was just like, was he tired that day?
He didn't feel like doing it.
He didn't.
Or, I don't know, I guess that would work as a crossword puzzle. Yeah, sure.
I guess, I don't know. They should have took some of the riddles from the cartoon and put them in this movie, because those riddles were harder than this.
Yeah, it would have been good. And then at some point, once the Riddler started showing up, don't we know who's sending Bruce Wayne these? We would be like, oh, you're getting these from the Riddler. Actually, it would have been much easier to figure out who it was, maybe. Also, I finally understood this scene, which actually makes sense, I guess. But God, it did make me roll my eyes later on. So when Edward Nygma hands them the suicide note, and like, you'll find it's in his handwriting using perfect center structure and all that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, as a kid, I never understood what he meant, but he took the knowledge from his boss.
Yeah, to be able to write a note like him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because, some people are like, Darren doesn't sound like that. He didn't write this. But now it's like, this is how he talks. This is the syntax he uses.
Yeah.
What gets me, but how? How was he able to create a fake
video?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. Especially in 95.
Right. Like, how would you
can't really do that today. Like, people will notice. Yeah. They'll be like, this isn't real.
You did not do that in a night.
Goodness. But whatever. And then what made me roll my eyes is they read the suicide note. And the suicide note was one line saying, goodbye, cruel world.
Yeah. And that was it.
My suicide.
Yeah.
And then Commissioner Gordon is like, yep, definitely a suicide. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
What I do not like about these movies is how Jim Gordon is played as a complete dummy in these movies. Not just this one, but the other ones too. And like, you're like, suicide, I'm going back home to sit on the couch. And it's just like, what is happening? It just didn't make any sense. And of course, like, Bruce is like, I don't buy it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then makes me like, I don't know, investigate a little bit more. Like, one, of all the people he left a note to, Nygma?
Yeah.
That should be a red
He clearly
flag.
didn't like Edward Nygma.
Yeah, and then you look in the dude's cubicle he works in, he got pictures of Bruce Wayne everywhere. It wasn't hard to figure out who this person was.
Yeah, who's obsessed with you.
Yeah, and then you immediately get left a riddle? Come on.
Right, the riddle was on his desk the same night that they found out that the one guy was killed.
Come on. You're supposed to be the world's greatest detective.
Goodness gracious. So just the loose motives was a problem. Two-Face, even the team up, I'm like, I don't Why does this make sense? Why did the Riddler team up with Two-Face?
Because he needed money.
He needed money.
Yes. So Two-Face had the goons and the resources to rob banks and stuff. And so Riddler would use that money to
start a business. No one questioned how Edward Nygma came up with a business overnight.
You would think that'd be another thing Batman questions.
Yeah.
This crazy person that worked at your company, right? And a thing that you shot down and said, no, honestly, Batman could sue him because you invented that on company time. Yeah. You don't owe that technology. Batman does.
With company resources.
Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that is how it works. Honestly, Wayne Tech owns it. But, you know, whatever.
I'm just saying, he could have shut that down from the get-go.
Oh, goodness. Okay. The box is dumb.
Well, one is not a box.
It's not a box.
But it makes people feel like they're inside of whatever they're watching. Mm-hmm. And while they're doing...
so it's VR?
Yeah, but I guess maybe because it's also like stimulating too, so maybe a little bit more than VR.
Okay.
And I guess in 1995, that would have been really special.
Okay.
Even if it was just standard VR.
Hey, we had the Virtual Boy.
But you know, it's better now than it was, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so but the thing is that when whoever's plugged into it, he can also gain their knowledge.
Yeah.
Which makes him smarter and smarter, and people are like getting hooked on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bruce Wayne. Okay. They figure out Bruce Wayne is Batman. I have a problem with this.
Go ahead.
Okay, so one, Bruce Wayne is dumb. He turns the machine off, but then he goes in it. I'm like, what did you expect to happen? It can't do anything if you turn it off.
Right. So, like, you're in there doing what? That doesn't make any sense. You're not investigating. And then if it's off, you don't really think the girl standing next to it's not going to turn it back on?
Yeah, and then it comes on, and I'm like, okay, leave, because obviously someone turned it back on. Mm-hmm. But that's neither here nor there. Mm-hmm. Because it says, tell me your greatest fear, and it's a bat, right? And Two-Face and the Riddler put together that Bruce Wayne is Batman because Bruce Wayne's greatest fear is a bat.
I feel like there's a lot of people.
I was about to say, that could be anybody. What do you mean? Who has bats on the brain? I don't know. Someone who's afraid of bats.
So here's what they should have did. So I happened to stumble across a Batman animated series episode where Doctor Strange had a machine that could basically learn the person's deepest, darkest secrets. Mm-hmm. So Bruce goes to investigate. He gets into the machine. And, they're talking about his parents' death. And he's like, what did that make you want? And he's like, I wanted revenge. And so then it shows him, like, punching with the Batman symbol. Like, that to me says, this man's Batman.
Yeah.
It's not a bat flying through the sky. It was so clear as day, like, yo, Bruce Wayne ain't everything he said he is.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I just
take the cartoon?
Take the plot from that cartoon. Because
Did that
was
come
better.
out after, though?
That's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, I know the cartoon was made, 92?
92, but I don't know when that episode aired.
Was that Hugo Strange?
Yeah. No, it was before it got redesigned. When did it get redesigned? In 97?
Yeah, that was with the Superman animated series, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay, I don't know when that episode aired.
Okay.
But either way, they done it. It was better. But because it made more sense, like, clearly this guy's Batman.
Yeah.
Not showing a bat fly.
Yeah, a bat.
What kind of man has bats on the brain? A normal person.
Yeah, I did like.
There's a cave under his house.
I mean, so like, if you're like, oh, DJ's greatest fear is spiders, he must be Spider-Man. Like, what makes no sense.
Yeah, there were some leaping logics there.
Oh my goodness gracious. I don't even know where to go. Okay, we didn't talk about Robin, the grown man that Bruce adopts.
Is there really anything to talk about? Two-Face kills his parents.
Yeah,
he wants
revenge to kill. How come it couldn't be Tony Zuko? Come on, man. That Robin... Actually, you know what? The Robin story needs to be its own movie. Why don't we just make it its own movie?
You said it. We only gotten Robin once. Well, we got him in 2 movies. We only had the origin once.
Yeah. Why don't they do Robin again?
Because they know they're going to do it wrong.
I want a Robin. We've had so many Batman movies. You gotta give me a Robin.
I agree. I think it would be, but you have to do it right, and they're not going to do it right. That's the problem. Did you eat dinner today? What's up?
I did. Leave it alone. I did. It was pizza.
Oh, that happened in the first season of the animated series.
What, the Tony Zuko?
No.
The Hugo
Doctor
Strange.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, they could have just copied that.
They really should.
Wait. Okay, so yeah. So his family dies. He wants to kill Two-Face. He tells him not to.
That's basically it. He runs away, but then comes back and helps Batman fight Two-Face and the Riddler at the end.
I like how he's like, how come this is the only locked door in the entire mansion? Because you're not supposed to go in there.
Like, why would you be surprised that this man who don't know you got a door that's locked?
Yeah. How come I can't get in here? What? Is it your house?
Well, it's not your house.
Jeez.
Like, bruh, why is this door locked? There's a million rooms in this place. Why you want to be in here? Just, since we're talking about that, can we talk about this security?
Intruder alert. Intruder alert.
It just turns everything on, raises up the Batmobile.
All right, I had a problem as a kid with the Riddler part because he breaks in and everything comes on. But now as an adult, I realize he used his cane.
I did realize that.
Yeah.
But it still raised the car though, didn't it?
Yeah, but I think he used his cane to do it, like pull everything up.
But then that doesn't make any sense because when Robin fell down there,
the same thing happened.
Everything came on.
Yeah.
So why didn't it do it when the Riddler came on?
Maybe so. Alfred was already down there. Maybe he was pulling everything up, and then Robin broke in.
Please, this security. First of all, his security needs to be shutting everything down.
Yeah, right. When it's an intruder, don't open it.
Yeah, and then releasing poison gas. So that person wakes up with no memory whatsoever.
For sure. Actually, yes, that's what should.
Like, I mean, if I'm Batman, isn't that what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Especially since people keep finding their way down there.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. There's not much else. Robin becomes Robin. He gets his suit. He's helping Batman because I guess. There's no
because he
reason.
wants revenge.
Yeah. And like you said, the way things happen in this movie is there's no like through line to things. It's like things just happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like so we've got Two-Face in the beginning. We established he hates Batman. Enigma hates Bruce Wayne now, right? And then we go to the circus because Two-Face shows up at the circus because did he have a reason for being there? No. But he shows up because we need Robin's family to die.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
Yeah. And
so that happens. Edward Nygma sees that, and that gives him the idea to work with Two-Face.
Right.
Because he blew up a circus. That, you know, like, okay.
Yeah.
And then it's just scene to scene, it feels like, with this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And then in the end, I realized the third act, there's no fighting.
Well, do you realize there's not a lot of... I mean, there's fighting, but not really. Because did you notice all the weird cuts? Yeah. Like how they'll cut to like foot to stomach, but you don't actually see the kick?
Yeah.
Or the grappling hook, you'll see it attached to something, but you don't actually see them. I was just like, you're not showing us anything.
No, it doesn't show you anything. I did realize that, especially, what was it? In the circus with the trapeze artist, right? Mm-hmm. It was the same thing.
Yeah.
You could tell Chris O'Donnell wasn't doing it, but you would get close-ups of Chris O'Donnell's face.
Just like, hanging there.
With his arms up in the air.
Yeah.
Like he's swinging. Yeah. And yeah, I was like, huh. Yeah. And that's all the fight scenes were too. Like, yeah, they'll cut away. Oh, I forgot about this dumb scene. I wanted to point this out. This was after they crashed the Riddler's little party thing.
Mm-hmm.
They jump into like this construction shoots. Batman follows them.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow that gets him trapped in a little section.
Because Two-Face jumps down. And they know Batman's gonna follow. So before Batman gets down there, they put like a chute up.
Yeah.
That kind of directs him to where they want him to go.
Yeah.
So then he sets it on fire. That doesn't
Which,
work.
as a kid, I thought this scene. I was like, "Oh wow, this scene." As an adult, I was like, "This is dumb."
Right. So he sets him on fire. That doesn't work. So then he blows it up and basically collapsed the shaft or whatever on top of Batman.
Batman didn't do anything in this entire scene.
No.
No. Yeah. He walked out of the fire and stood there for a moment looking stupid. And then Two-Face blew up the things and then he got a bunch of sand dumped on him.
Which can be very dangerous.
Yeah,
And
my son asked me,
serious.
he was like, "Can you breathe under sand?" And I was like, "No, you cannot."
Definitely not.
No. And then Robin saves him. But he was hanging for no apparent reason. I'm like, Robin, how about you just stand on the sand and pull him up? I don't know. Why was he hanging from the ceiling?
Why was he there?
I don't know. Well, no, he got his suit because he realized everything was bad. So I guess he followed Batman down there.
Oh, okay. But didn't stop him from getting blown up, though.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
It was a dumb scene.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of those. But
I
yeah,
was gonna
no.
say that.
Batman won by throwing a batarang at the giant box. And that somehow took all the knowledge away from Edward Nygma. I don't know how that works out, but yeah. And he beat Two-Face by throwing quarters.
And killing him.
Yeah, I was like, wait, Batman, you killed him.
You definitely killed him.
Because you didn't try to reach out and stop him. He fell because of your action, right?
Yep,
it wasn't like, oh, he slipped or whatever. He fell because of your actions, and you did not try to save him.
Nope.
You killed Two-Face.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how he won. So he threw a batarang at something, and he threw quarters.
Yeah, there was not a fight between Batman and the main people.
Yeah, no. He only beat up the goons, basically, in this movie.
The faceless villains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the car driving up the building, that scene was dumb. I thought it was cool as a kid, but again, as an adult, I was like, wait, this was point. Why is he? What's going to happen when he gets to the top of the building?
Okay, since you're talking about it, I literally wrote this whole scene is dumb and pointless.
Okay, well, let's talk about nitpicks. I don't really have.
No,
okay.
I still have some more thoughts.
Okay, all right.
We didn't talk about everyone's overacting. Just like legit, even the extras were overacting. The gossip column, Bruce Wayne.
Oh God, she was. Oh my
just
goodness.
So ridiculous. The guy in the vault is boiling acids.
My shoes are melting.
Just everyone. But after all of that, I don't think Val Kilmer did a bad job. I would like to have seen what he could have done
with an actual script.
With an actual script. So I do. It's like, I mean, he was only in Batman once.
And after doing it, he probably said, "I'm never doing this again."
Probably. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on how I feel about him as Batman. I don't think he was bad, but he wasn't really given much to work with. And I heard that the soundtrack to this movie is really dope. I don't know. I haven't heard it except for A Kiss from a Rose, which is tied to this movie for some reason.
For some reason,
I think it has to do with him and Chase's relationship.
And you know what I laughed at when she knocked the roses off of the counter?
Oh my God. And
then Bruce is like, "Oh my gosh, roses on the ground." And I was like, wait.
Well, that's another thing. Like, we didn't need the whole his father's journal and we didn't need none of that.
No.
And I know there was some other stuff that had got cut from it, but still didn't need it.
No.
Just didn't need it. Yeah, so I mean, you know, if you haven't heard A Kiss from a Rose by Seal, listen to it, people. It's a great song. I always thought as a kid that song was from like the 80s.
That was from 95, apparently.
I had no idea. Nor did I have an idea it was attached to this movie.
Now, it being attached to Batman, I definitely had no idea. Why would it be attached to Batman?
No idea. But then they should have played it in the movie.
Yeah, they didn't play it in the movie, so I don't know what the deal with that was.
Yeah.
But, I mean, was this before? No, it wasn't. I was going to say, was it before we usually, like, use songs for movies? But no, we watched Top Gun.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
And they made use of their song.
Hey, they got their money's worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. All right, so now we can move to random movie facts. And I also want to talk about the movie that didn't get made.
Oh, no. Okay. But, all right, random movie fact.
All right. So this was the first movie to gross over $50 million in its first weekend.
All right.
I mean, there's no surprise that Batman.
There's a
movie.
reason why we say the X-Men started this whole era of superhero movies. Because if we go back, this is what we had. Look, Batman 89, Batman Returns, they have a special place, but let's admit they're not like all the way there yet.
They were limited by the time that they were made.
Yeah.
I think X-Men opened the way for stuff like the MCU to happen.
Yeah.
Before it was just like you'll get your Superman movies in the 70s, your here and there Batman movies, but there was nothing. And then X-Men was considered a lot harder because it's like this is more than just a guy punching people.
Yeah.
These people have powers. They look weird. They wear colorful suits.
Yeah.
So that definitely opened up a whole new avenue for superhero movies that hadn't been explored before because one, they didn't think they could pull it off.
Yeah. But the fact that this made $50 million in one weekend is
I'm not surprising because you don't know the movie is bad until you see it.
Yeah, that's true.
And remember, this was marketed to children.
It's true because I remember really wanting to see Batman and Robin, and Mom took me.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah.
You were really upset about that.
Well, because we were supposed to go and then we weren't going to go. And
I
then
forgot
was
why
upset.
we weren't going to go.
Yeah.
I don't know, something dumb. We weren't going to go, but then she took you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that clearly. Yeah, so anyway, that's equates to about $100 million in today's time.
Jeez.
That's a very good opening.
Yeah, it made some money.
Jim Carrey said Tommy Lee Jones did not like him. Said that Tommy Lee Jones told him, I hate him and I hate his films.
I can see that.
Yep, no surprise there. So Joel Schumacher said that he really did want to do a darker movie, but the WB was like insisting on a lighter tone, more family friendly movie. And that becomes from the backlash from the Batman Returns movie because it was marketed as if kids could watch the movie, and Batman Returns is not a kids movie.
Yeah.
But 89 is not a kids movie.
89 is also not a kids movie because it was funny. Like I mentioned before, because my son was asking if I would let him watch it, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. Because even though it's rated PG-13, I was like, there's nothing that you need to be 13 for in this movie. I honestly watching it, I'm like, this is a kids movie. Let's be honest. That's why the story is so very light. Like,
yeah. And I don't understand. Like, I get it. I don't get the backlash from Batman Returns. Because I always feel like if your kid can't watch the movie, your kid can't watch the movie.
Yeah.
We didn't see it.
No, we didn't. We only saw it when it came on TV, I guess.
Yeah, which was still like years later, though.
Yeah.
So, like, hey, if your kid... But that didn't stop us from having Batman toys. We had those Happy Meals.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Batman Forever is the first one I saw. I saw Batman Forever before I saw the other two.
It's hard to say.
Because you gotta think, I was 5 when this movie came out.
It's hard to say because we were young. I kind of felt like I saw 89, but I maybe I didn't.
Yeah, I doubt... at 5, I doubt I saw 89. But I definitely saw Batman Forever before Batman and Robin came out. So... I had to at least be 6, maybe, but by the time I saw Batman Forever.
We didn't see it in a theater. I know.
I saw Batman and Robin in theaters. So yeah. That was, 97?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I don't think I saw 89 before then.
Maybe not. Maybe we didn't. I always felt like I had, but we might not have.
Yeah. I don't know. I doubt the 5-year-old me was watching Batman 89. Especially not Batman Returns.
No, I
that
know.
Would have scared me.
I remember Batman Returns being off limits. Because I sung 89 a bunch of times and it was like Batman Returns was just no.
Yeah.
But okay, so maybe I saw 89 after Batman Forever. But like our dad was a little looser on. Sure, you can watch it. I don't care. So, but my thing is like, I get like, hey, this is in a kid's movie, and it wasn't. But that didn't mean that, you know what I mean? Because every kid is different.
Yeah. But it goes to, it's the same thing when, I mentioned this before, but when Deadpool came out, and then people were complaining about how it wasn't for kids, and it was like, well, No, it wasn't. It is rated R.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
that should tell you that it's not for children.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it was the same thing with Batman Returns. You know, so I kind of hate when things like that happens because then we get an answer, which is a movie like Batman Forever.
Right. Which
You
was
know.
so far on the other extreme. It was like, see, your kids will love it. And you're right. Loved it.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter to Warner Brothers. They made money.
They made their money. But you just end up for a movie that now I'm just like, this movie isn't good.
Yeah.
When if you would have just, like, I can see turning it down a notch and just making, like, Christopher, the Nolan type Batman movies.
Well, Nolan's is.
Well, The Dark Knight was probably the worst of all of them.
Yeah.
But, like, I wouldn't have a problem with my kids seeing Batman Begins.
Scarecrow scenes.
Oh, those Scarecrow, yeah. That's just one part. Close your eyes. But, I mean, but the movie overall, I wouldn't mind a kid seeing that. I wouldn't mind a kid seeing The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. There's not much. It's a Batman story.
Yeah.
You know,
so they could have went in that lane. All you gotta do was tell Tim Burton, just don't bite off people's noses in this movie.
Yeah, let's not do that. Or make creepy penguin looking guy with whatever coming from his face. That was so weird.
Yeah, like all he had to do, because this Batman Returns is no more violent than Batman.
Yeah.
But it's more grotesque.
Yeah.
Like, don't scratch people's faces off. Let's keep people's noses on their face. And then there you go.
Yeah, that's all they really had to do. But now, no, we got Neon City, Batman, and it only gets worse from here.
Yeah.
Because, you know, now in Batman and Robin, he's not going to drive through. He's bringing his Bat credit card.
Right. So I felt like now's a good time to talk about the movie that never was.
Okay.
Tim Burton's third movie that he was going to call Batman Continues. And then he had the nerve to go on and talk about he didn't like the name Batman Forever. Batman Forever is better than Batman Continues?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Bruh.
That was a horrible name.
Yeah. But, so apparently there was talks about Robin Williams playing the Riddler, which would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Because Robin Williams as a villain, like, have you seen Insomnia?
No.
Oh, great. Like, I think his Riddler would have been similar to the Riddler gotten in the Batman.
Yeah, except for I think
not the Hush mixture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Robin Williams. It's kind of like Mark Hamill as the Joker. I feel like that's like a perfect casting.
Yeah. So I mean, I will forever and a day say absolutely not to freaking Marlon Wayans as Robin. Just no now, just no. No. But I'm not sure. Well, no, Robin had to be because he was under contract. But they didn't mention what they were going to do with Robin. But, so Robin Williams as the Riddler. Of course, Michael Keaton comes back. And when Michael Keaton was going to do it, Rene Russo was going to play Chase Meridian. The story would have been completely different. But then when he dropped out, then they felt like Russo was too old to be the love interest.
For Rene Russo?
Yeah, because she was 6 years older than Val Kilmer.
Am I thinking of a different person? Isn't this Thor's mother? Isn't that Rene Russo?
Yes.
How would she have been too old in 95?
She would have been, what, 30-something?
Come
in her
on.
late 30s?
I gotta look this up now.
I'm looking it up. I'm going to check out her. I think, yes, she was Thor's mother. Because you don't watch other movies that I watch. I don't think you watched another movie that she was in. She's been in a lot of stuff, though. Lethal Weapon.
Like,
you ever seen that?
Huh? Ooh.
Lethal Weapon?
Yeah, I've seen Lethal Weapon.
Oh, yeah. She was in... I don't know what you watched, the Thomas Crown Affair?
I've seen that too with with
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. Isn't that when he had the bowler hat? Wasn't he like stealing art or something like that? Yes, I've seen the Thomas Crown Affair.
Oh, okay. So she was the girl in, but yes, it's Thor. Yes.
Okay, she was in 95. Now, if we look at Thor, you see how like I don't want to say how good she looks, but she looks decent for her age. In Thor, right? So I can imagine in 95 she probably looked really good.
When did the Thomas Crown Affair come out? 99.
I didn't know that was Rene Russo in the Thomas Crown Affair.
Lord. Why do I talk to you?
What?
Did you see Get Shorty?
What? No, I said I saw it. I said I didn't know it was her. I didn't. Like,
Okay, but that came out in '99. All right. Anyways, Outbreak. Did you see
oh, she's
Outbreak?
69 now. So, Outbreak.
She did a lot of movies in the '90s. God. Yeah, Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman about the monkeys and the disease spreading.
No, I saw.
Don't say Contagion. That was 20 years later.
Yeah, I didn't see. Wait, no, Outbreak. No, this was something different. I think I'm thinking of Andromeda Strain.
That is different.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Renee Russo and like she would have been fine.
Yeah. So, anyways, they felt like because she was 6 years older than Val Kilmer, so they was like, you're out, and replaced her with Nicole Kidman.
I mean, I guess she was 40. Like she was in 40 in 95, something like that.
Okay, so she was 40. He was what, 34, 35?
It would have been fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Because how much older is Val Kilmer than Nicole Kidman?
I don't know. I didn't know how old Nicole Kidman was.
He is 7 years older than her. So, but I guess it's okay.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's the guy.
When the man does it, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Billy D. Williams would have reprised his role as Two-Face, which I think would have been great. Because he would have brought... Because, like, this Two-Face just isn't...
But you gotta remember, they were doing something different. I think Billy D. Williams would have been good. But even if we still had Tommy Lee Jones, I think if it was the tone of the other two Batman movies, Tommy Lee Jones would have done better in it than this, whatever this is.
I will agree with you on that. Yes. Yeah, I will agree with you on that.
Because then it wouldn't have been the Two-Face being idiotic, you know?
Which I don't understand why they couldn't play him straight. Let Riddler be goofy and still play him straight. Even though Riddler isn't a goofy character.
No, he's actually quite serious.
Yeah.
Why do you have to do that? The only character that's like this in Batman is the Joker.
Yeah.
Why do they have to do this for all of his villains? I don't understand.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. And then, weirdly enough, I just wrote this down because I thought it was weird. Billy D. Williams' real name is William December Williams. It's a horrible name. Why did
I would go by Billy too. If my name was William Williams, I would go by Billy.
The fact that his middle name is December.
Also that.
So yeah, sorry. But then I ran into this thing on YouTube and I forgot. I don't know who made it. I probably should. So they did like a what if Tim Burton's Batman movie actually got made.
Yeah.
And it's like a fan fiction thing.
Yeah.
And it's like legit like 2 hours long. And it's kind of like an audio.
Like animated or just audio?
It was both. Like, okay. So it's not like cartoon animated. Like they'll show clips from a movie or have like a scene that's drawn in or whatever.
Storyboard art.
Yeah. And like took lines from this actual movie. And then like also, rewrote it so it makes sense. But it was actually, but with these characters, with like Robin Williams as the Riddler.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and so I listened to some of it and I was just like, this is actually good.
Yeah, hey, you could make this animated now, especially with the AI voice thing. Yeah. Like ethics about this, I don't know, but you can't make a actual production movie with this, I would say. But fan made, you could use the AI voice thing, train it on Robin Williams' voice from his movies. Yeah. And like you could put this movie together. Yeah. That would be dope.
And like his motivation was the Riddler wanted to solve the greatest riddle of all. Who is Batman?
Makes sense.
And he had a list of names of like likely, unlikely, and all the names are on the list. And it opens with him interrogating a guy he has on the list, and he's like torturing him. And the guy's just not answering his questions. And they had the man with the two lights that we had in the Batman Forever movie. Yeah. And that was like the lie detector test. And he's like, oh, this man's telling the truth. Kills him anyways. Mm-hmm. But he's like, cross him off the list. He's not Batman.
Yeah.
So I gotta figure out who made it. But it was actually really well done. And I was just like, oh, this is how people who think through makes a movie.
Yeah. And look, I know writers, they're really talented and they're probably worked really hard and stuff. But sometimes when you get movies like this, like I never want to say like, oh man, you've done a horrible job. But like God, what did you do writing this? What was this? Like, this wasn't a story.
Yeah, like what was the thought process? And
Yeah.
like why does this, you turned this in and they said, "Yep, this is the movie."
Yeah, I've seen way better animated movies for children than this. Okay, I think Shrek has a better story.
Shrek is a solid movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So I found those things very interesting. So I have two more random facts before we can get to our nitpicks.
Okay.
So they wanted Robin to have an edgy look. I don't know if that
Was this edgy?
I mean, I was a kid, so I don't know what edgy's supposed to look like in the 90s. But that's why he had like the dark eyes and the earring or whatever, which I guess is something.
Is that edgy?
Not for us, because everyone I knew had earrings.
Yeah,
right?
I was like,
that's
our
not a
earrings are
thing.
pretty normal.
Yeah, but
okay.
yeah, poor Chris O'Donnell had to get his ears pierced.
What they made him get his ear? You couldn't put a
Yeah,
clip on
They said
this
the
man.
fake ones didn't look good, apparently. Yo, I'm just.
You
telling
made
what-
this person get his ears pierced for a movie.
Yeah. It's definitely not worth it because it's not like it jump started his career.
Sure didn't. I mean, I don't know. It's not like his acting in this movie was great.
But no one's acting was great. So can't blame him on that one. And
All
then
right.
he did spend like 15 years at NCIS, didn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, there you go. He got something.
Yeah. So in the comics, the Riddler doesn't have a costume. It's just a green suit.
Yeah, with the bowler hat.
I thought I would say costume design. I didn't mind it. I hated Two-Face's suits.
I want to talk about Two-Face too. I think they took the duality of him way too far. He doesn't have two personalities, does he? I don't know.
No, he does because Harvey's still there.
Yeah.
So sometimes Harvey's doing the talking, sometimes Two-Face is doing the talking. But this and us. And
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, the whole we thing, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Two-Face doesn't do that.
Nope.
Then you had the scene where Riddler is like, it's me, and then Two-Face comes in, and me. And me.
Yeah.
Like,
Nope.
no.
Nope.
That's not, no.
No.
And then, like, the whole layer being
Split in
half. It was weird.
Yeah, the two girls, Sugar and Spice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all, I think y'all took that a step too far for Two-Face.
Way too far.
It was done pretty well in the Nolan films, I think.
Yeah, he was fine. I mean, not the best Two-Face, but
Yeah,
better than what we had before, so.
this is true. But okay. We going to nitpicks?
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's pick some nits.
So, I have doubts that vault slides back into place.
Yeah, no, that's not how physics works at all.
I have serious doubts that thing. One, I really feel like that man would have fell off of it.
He would have. Also, I'm not sure that's how vaults are.
Yeah.
Yeah. What room was that attached to?
I'm guessing that's where the security deposits were because they had those little boxes.
Yeah. Okay, so safe deposit boxes.
Are they?
Why wasn't that just built into a room?
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Most of the time, the safe deposit is just a room that has them in the walls, and
Yeah.
there's like a door.
Yeah, and if you're gonna put acid in it, why not just have acid come out of all the boxes? If you're gonna take the
Instead of two.
time.
I mean, they could only put it in 2 boxes. Also, where'd the acid come from?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He took the time to break into the bank previously, fill it up with acid, just so he can come back later and break in. And I mean, otherwise, how else would he get that much acid in there? And how come no one noticed these things?
I don't know. Like that wasn't anybody's safe deposit box.
Just so weird.
Yeah. Also, that made no sense. God. The plan is very convoluted with that. Also, I don't know what safe door you can break into from the inside. Like Batman's inside of the vault, and he's using the guy's hearing aid to open the vault door.
Right.
Yes. No, the lock is generally on the outside only. And if you're trapped inside, you're not opening the door.
You're just inside, right?
There's no way to open the door from the inside.
Yeah.
There usually isn't. I don't know what kind of vault that was.
Yeah.
This is from me who's worked at banks. And I have been at one branch that actually had a big vault door. Unexcitingly, most banks just have like this standing vault that's like a giant cabinet.
I think
made out
if you
of
want to see
steel.
one of those big things, you got to go to like an old bank.
Yeah. But I did visit one branch that actually did have one of those. No, they don't open from the inside, and
Yeah.
don't be trapped inside of it.
Yeah. No surprise there. Okay. Next up. Helicopters don't have steering wheels.
Yeah. I was wondering that because he uses a
A club. And
to lock the steering wheel of the helicopter.
Yeah. And
I'm
for
like-
all of you guys who don't know what the club is, back in the 90s when our cars were being stolen, you put the club on so that the thief can't
turn the steering wheel. Yeah,
Yeah.
it will lock the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Man, that went out of fashion.
Because cars are harder to steal.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, unless it's a Kia.
Unless it's a Kia or a Honda.
All right, anyhow. Helicopters don't have steering wheels unless there's a model that does that I don't know about.
I don't know.
But,
like I went because when I wrote that down, I was like, "Well, let me make sure." So I googled the cockpits of helicopters, and I didn't see a single one with steering wheels.
yeah, they have the little bar.
So
little,
if someone can tell
joystick.
me the model of a helicopter that actually has a steering wheel, I will take it all back.
Honestly, it doesn't seem like it would work with a helicopter.
Also, that
since you need to pan it up and down.
yeah,
The joystick actually does make a lot more sense with the helicopter. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Considering how they fly, but whatever.
yeah. So okay, so Wayne Enterprises. Does Batman never say chair when he's in his office?
Yeah, I know that whole.
Just-
Now we made fun of this when we were kids. He lock chair.
Just what the heck? Like, do you just? I mean, I just feel like every once in a while you accidentally propel yourself back to the back.
Yeah, imagine like if the chair was like a little uncomfortable one day. He sits in it and he's like, man, this stupid chair. Oh no, I'm down to shoot.
And then like does the chute takes him all the way back to the Batcave, which is miles outside of the city?
Yeah.
Just I don't get it. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, next up. The Riddler places a clue on Wayne Manor's gate. Ain't no cameras out there? You telling me Bruce Wayne ain't got no cameras outside his house?
It definitely should be.
That right there, 30 minutes into the movie, we know who the Riddler is.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make any sense.
No, but apparently there's no cameras outside.
You're the world's richest man.
person. Yeah. Nope, no cameras. Why would you put cameras? Come on.
Right. And I mean, this is that for that scene and also the stupid trick-or-treating scene where they get the jump on Alfred.
Yeah. I had a couple of questions about the trick-or-treating scene.
Go.
Yeah, once, again, they get out of the car with their guns and everything outside of the gates.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have cameras. 2, nobody's going to Wayne Manor to trick-or-treat.
No. Who else lives there? Drake's family. That's it. No one else lives over there.
Yeah, I'm like, because, yeah. Usually you go house to house, right?
Yep.
How long would it take? It would take the kids all night just to get to Bruce Wayne's house.
Yep.
If I'm remembering correctly, because it's kind of out of the way and not near anything else in Gotham.
It's out of the way, not near anything else. The only thing I know is that Tim Drake was supposed to be his neighbor, but they were far apart.
Yeah.
That's it. No one is trick-or-treating out there. Doesn't make any sense. It's not a neighborhood.
It's not a
They
neighborhood.
live on the outskirts of town.
So that was dumb. And then, like, the fact that they got in, that was stupid.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Why would the circus be on TV?
I was thinking that. I was like, he's watching the circus on TV. Is that a thing? Is that a thing?
That is not a thing.
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
It was being televised, though.
But why?
I don't know. I mean, Gotham, they televised. It's the Gotham Circus, so maybe they don't travel. Because wasn't it Gotham Circus?
No. Because remember, when Dick showed up at the house, he said the circus must be halfway to Metropolis by now.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So they definitely travel. I didn't make any sense. Okay. Were there no 16 to 18-year-olds available to play Robin?
I guess, I don't know. But this was back in the day when we didn't, like, really have teens play teens.
But why not? We have gymnasts.
Yeah.
Tell me that there's not a male gymnast that you could have hired to play this role.
I was gonna say acting, but then never mind.
I know you were going to say that, and I'm like, could he really have been worse?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, literally get someone off the U.S. Olympic team and say, do you want to be Robin? We wouldn't have had all those weird cuts because it would have been someone who actually knew how to do the moves. He'd have been age appropriate, size appropriate, all of that.
Yeah.
Just, why? Okay, back to the circus. He's yelling, I am Batman. Chase don't hear that? Or anyone else sitting next to him?
I was thinking, I was like, everybody heard that. One, I never got this as a child, but in watching this, Two-Face didn't ask anyone to, like, tell me who Batman is. He said, what I want is Batman dead. That's what he wanted.
No, because remember he said you have 2 minutes because he figured out one of you guys know who Batman is or one of you are Batman.
Okay.
So, yeah. Either way, it was there wasn't enough time. There was a no win. He gave him 2 minutes.
Yeah.
There's not enough time to do anything with that.
It wasn't. Also, why would you yell it?
Yeah. And
then everybody heard you.
Everyone heard you. And then no one sees you fighting on the circus floor?
Yeah.
Like, no one sees Bruce. Like, there's cameras everywhere. The first thing that would have been on the news is Bruce Wayne is doing Kung Fu. I guess he could
explain that off, maybe.
That'd have been really hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we at now? All right.
The bomb that took more than 2 minutes to blow up?
I was going to let that go. I always time these things, and yeah, it was more than 2 minutes. We talked a little bit about the Batman in the building thing. I wanted to say some of that because I'm like, that scene was dumb. One, how does the car get back down the building? Like, does he drive over the rooftop and drive down the other side?
Yeah, I was like, I thought, I was like, what does it do when it gets to the top? I don't know. Also, I'm not sure the physics of that. I know you got a grappling hook, which could help you, but it's not keeping it, like, flat on the building, right? It might bounce up and down.
Really?
Yeah.
These people had crayons for background. Are you talking about they didn't make the car move enough?
All right, I'm sorry. I don't... Okay, all right. I need Mythbusters to do... like driving your car up the side of the building.
So then what I don't understand about the scene is like, so he's with Chase when the bat signal comes on. And then we jump to him getting chased by Two-Face's goons.
I literally said this out loud when I was watching the movie. I was like, wait, this doesn't make sense. We had the bat signal, which is saying there's a crime going on, Batman. And then he's getting chased by Two-Face. I'm like, so what was the crime that caused the bat signal to go on?
Yeah. And then, excuse me. If Two-Face knew where Batman was going to be so he can use his rocket launcher, why not set up in a better location? Like, I don't know, across the street. Like, why set up the whole baby carriage ploy? Right? You know this man's coming down the street. I'd be in the bushes across the street, ready, aim, fire.
Yeah.
He doesn't see it coming. So, yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay. Next nitpick.
Sorry.
Oh, man, I think I went out of order.
Shame. It's all thrown away now. You've ruined it.
It's ruined. Okay. So, when the Riddler meets Two-Face, he shows up at his lair. Somehow.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I know what you're going to say.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah. How was his little box thing? He's in the lair already.
They were already there.
I said this out loud too when I watched the movie. Like, the Riddler literally shows up, like, out of the blue, and then while he's talking to Two-Face, he just picks him up. Like, I'm like, what?
How did they get on the table in front of him?
Yeah. And then Two-Face, you didn't notice them just sitting there.
Oh my goodness. I was like, well, how did that get there? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we already talked about that. Okay. And I know it was explained away, but I still don't like it. Two-Face shoots Bruce in the face. He gets away with a scratch and a concussion, apparently.
It skimmed his head. I guess he's not a good aim.
I guess not. Then he's going to kill him, but doesn't kill him.
Don't kill him because he won't learn nothing. Yes.
Your whole motive in this movie is to kill Batman.
Yeah.
You don't care about whatever Riddler's plan is.
Yeah. Honestly, and he flipped the coin and it was tails. So Riddler's killing him. Like, right? Like,
like Two-Face. Two-Face is going to
oh,
kill
excuse
him.
me. Yeah, Two-Face. Yeah.
That was this whole 2 hours was about him killing Batman. He got it. He does not care about Riddler's plan. Riddler's plan does not concern him.
No.
So, yeah, dumb. Okay. The Riddler has Chase and Robin captured.
Mm-hmm.
How are there 2 cages for them? He didn't know Robin existed. Did he just have one extra lying around?
Yeah, I don't know. Was it for Batman?
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. But
Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. Yeah, so why does he have 2 cages? That's a good point.
Yeah.
Also, when did he have time to change his outfit in between when he was shooting down the bat plane and when he had them up in those cages?
Yeah.
He's in a completely different outfit. His hair is different.
Yeah. Okay. And my last nitpick. Sugar and Spice know who Batman is.
Yeah.
We just left them out there in the world knowing Bruce's secret.
I guess they don't care.
I would cash that in so fast.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, that was my last nitpick.
Okay. Yeah, no, you touched on all of mine. So very bad. So are we rating the movie?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this pure torture. It's a bad movie. And despite all of the fond memories I have from it as a child, I can't allow any guilty pleasures to raise the score of this movie. It's bad.
My thoughts exactly. Going in, I was confident I was going to give it a watch by folding clothes.
Yeah.
I confident I was going to be like, yes, it's not a bad movie, but you'll be entertained. No. I just cannot allow a few semi-decent jokes from Jim Carrey to say, yeah, watch this movie, it's fine. It is not.
No, it's not.
It's just it's not a good movie, and I cannot say just because I grew up with it. I mean, even now as an adult, like I honestly don't see myself ever watching this.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched it in a long time, and I like probably not gonna go back to watching it unless my kid wants to watch Batman Forever. You know,
right.
I will watch the Nolan movies first.
Right, and that's the thing. Like I can say, like you can have like I feel like The Lost World.
Yeah.
Not a good movie.
But yeah, Lost World was
like
good,
The Lost World. I was watching that today, so it's just like again, it's like it's not a great, but it's entertaining enough where I can look past all of the nonsense that happens in that movie. This movie is not that, and it's pure torture. It really is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. If you guys didn't know, that is a 2 out of 5 or a 3 or 4 out of 10, which I think it deserves.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that's our thoughts on Batman Forever. We're going to be moving on, not next week, but our next Batman movie is Batman and Robin. We're going to go in order.
Not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, we got it. We're doing the entire series.
We are not doing the entire series.
We
already did some of the movies.
What do you mean? We did The Batman, which was new, so that...
No, we did one of the other Batmans.
No, we did Batman 89, Batman Returns.
We did not do The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, we did. We're getting there.
We already did it.
Did we do The Dark Knight Rises? No, we did not. No, we did not do Dark Knight Rises.
First of all, I decide what movies we watch.
Unless I veto it.
You don't have no veto powers.
Yes, I do.
He does not.
Okay. Well, I mean, Batman and Robin's bad. Oh, God. All right. It's worse than this movie. How can you make something worse than this movie?
At least everyone, like, a lot of people say, like, oh, Batman Forever is a guilty pleasure. I think everyone agrees Batman and Robin is just straight up trash. There's no defending that.
Oh, my son wants to watch it, so I guess...
Maybe he'll forget.
It will be, I mean, he'll probably really enjoy it. A kid. I mean, I didn't hate it when I first watched it. I was 7, so, you know. Okay. I did start hating it fairly quickly, though.
Okay.
But yeah. So, what did you think about Batman Forever? Is it a guilty pleasure of yours? Have you watched it recently as an adult? And what do you think of it now? That's the question. Make sure you guys let us know. Like and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, and of course, catch us in the next one.